Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video we have 5 attacks that we can punish once more, and I'm gonna start today with Dulcim. And the attack I'm talking about today is not really an attack, it is his wake up teleport. When Dulcim does a teleport, his teleport is strike invincible from the first frame. So if I go for a knockdown like that one, I try to meaty Dulcim, he will be able to escape. This might seem really annoying if you don't know how to deal with it, right? There are a couple of things that you have to know here. The first one is that although it is strike invincible, he is still throwable on startup. So if I go for the same knockdown and throw him in wake up, you even heard his wake up teleport, right? But he was still thrown out of it. So when you knock down Dulcim, you can absolutely just throw him on wake up, and this will counter his wake up teleport. So this is the very first option. The second thing is this teleport has a lot of recovery. So much so in fact that you can your meaty will whiff, you can still dash up and punish Dulcim. So let's check this out. I will meet you with my standing medium punch. As you can see, after I meated him with my standing medium punch and then dashed, Ryu here was plus 26. So this means that we can get really big punishes. So for example, I can do this and still hella punish Dulcim for it. So there is literally no reason that Dulcim should be able to escape from your pressure with this. And now for the second attack today, I wanted to talk about Falke EX Upper, the Psycho Snyder. This is in many ways similar to Ed's Psycho Upper. Generally, Falke is a defensive character by nature. The Falke players are generally not as rago as the Ed players, so you will not see it being thrown out as much as Ed players like to throw Psycho Uppers, right? But it is still, of course, a really good attack, and defensively it is even faster, so it is harder to bait, but the same concept still applies. For example, when you knock Falke down, you can meet her with light and still be able to block, but you have to lab this, because for example, Cody here, if I do my crouching light punch, I will get hit, but if I do my standing light punch, I will be able to block. I am meeting Falke with my jab and holding back, as you can see in my inputs on the left, right? There is also one thing that you have to know about this attack, and this is kind of a general Falke thing, it's a matchup thing, but I think it's worth noting. Falke have a charged mechanics. She's kind of like Cody who can hold zonk, right? And when Falke is charging, you will notice that her arm is glowing, or her hand will glow, right? The hand that is holding the staff. Falke's EX Upper is done by pressing all 3 kicks, right? So if I'm holding this one, if I press the other 2, nothing will come out, right? As long as her hand is glowing, she can't actually do the upper. She have to let it go, and then she will be able to do the upper. So when you're fighting against Falke, as long as you're noticing that her arm is glowing or her hand is glowing, she can't really do the upper. When she is free, that's when it might come out. This is kind of a small hint about what she is doing, and I think it is one of the biggest factors as to why this character is not that good, because this is a very big tell. Like when I am pressuring Falke, this to me is a very big tell on whether she is gonna DP or not. But it is something, you know, it is what it is, and it is something that if you are fighting against Falke, could give you a big advantage if you realize how the character functions. And now for our third attack, I wanted to talk a little bit about Poison's V-Trigger 2 command grab. Poison's V-Trigger 2 is not used that much nowadays, but it is still pretty decent, I think, and I am expecting some nerfs to V-Trigger 1, so maybe it will become relevant, and the info I'm about to tell you is important and good to know. When Poison have her V-Trigger 2 on, she of course have access to a far range command grab, and there is something that you can notice here, right? First of all, this is a command grab, so if I'm standing here and I'm down blocking, it will throw me, right? The thing that you have to notice is that the bar, the V gauge, will go down as soon as she inputs the move, even before the move comes out. So notice, take a good look at her V gauge, and you'll notice that it went down before before the move even came out. So if you can look at her bar, and if you notice that it depleted quickly, then you can go and jump on her, right? Like, this is a very good opportunity. I'm keeping an eye on her V gauge. I see it depleting. This is my cue to jump, right? So I am expecting, like I said, I am expecting some nerfs to her V-Trigger 1, so maybe this V-Trigger will become relevant again, and if it does, it will be good to know that you can do this against her long-range command grab. So for our fourth attack, I wanted to talk about Ken's V-Skill 2. Ken's V-Skill 2 is a charged drop kick style of attack. This is very similar in nature to something like our Mika does, but when fully charged, Ken is gonna be +3. If he halfway charges it, he's gonna be -2, right? So it is safe when not fully charged, and he is plus on block when it is fully charged. Like I said earlier, in many ways, this is very similar to Mika's charged roundhouse, right? So it is important to know how you can deal with it. What you can do is you can jump. If you try to jump away or something, you're gonna get hit. The range is quite big on it. Neutral jumping it is a bad idea. Even forward jumping, whatever, that is really bad. And even you will find that conventional anti-airs might be a little bit spotty. Like Fang have really good anti-airs, but depending on the timing you might get hit, but still can work, of course. What I found to be the most reliable, honestly, is jabbing it out of the air. Something like his standing jab is actually really good, even the standing medium. Generally, attacks with high hitbox are really good against this, and it's very easy. It's very easy to react, jab it, right? Because there's a lot of delay on it. So standing and jabbing it is very good. Of course, parries as well. Something like Fang's parry is pretty nice here. And depending on the parry type, you might get something. Of course, invincibility also works, so you can do something like his command dash, his super. All of these are viable options. In many ways, it is very similar to Mika's dropkick, but like I said earlier, the best ways, in my opinion, are standing attacks, standing jabs. In my opinion, are the most and easiest answer for this attack. And now for our fifth and final attack, I wanted to talk about Lucia's run stop pressure, right? Lucia of course have a special move which is the run. It's done by doing a fireball forward and punch, and she can stop at any time by pressing backwards, or she can do one of her follow-ups, right? If you don't know the matchup and if you don't know what to do really, this can be annoying to deal with, because she can do stuff like that, stop and then maybe shimmy you, stop and then grab you. And you know how it goes with run stop style of characters, right? So how can you deal with this? There are multiple things that you have to know here. First of all, let's for example set Balrog. Balrog will do its 3 frame on block, right? When Lucia does the run into stop, like I'm gonna do it like standing medium punch into run stop, I get punished with a 3 frame. Crouching medium punch, run stop, I get punished with a 3 frame. Crouching medium kick, run stop, punished. Heavy punch, punished. Crouching heavy punch, punished. So there isn't a single one of them that is safe. The only run stop that is technically safe is if she did standing heavy punch into EX run. This is the only one where you cannot even punish her with a 3 frame. This is the safest one, right? Every single one of them else is punishable. So this is important to know. But there is a little bit of a mix-up here, because Lucia can do the shoulder, which is run into punch, and this might counter hit your interruption. You will only have to worry about this if she's doing it from the heavies. For example, from a normal, she can't at all interrupt you here, right? You will always beat her out. But from a heavy punch, there is a mix here, because she can do that. If she time it correctly, she can get a counter hit here and counter hit you. So there is a mix, but what you have to understand is that Lucia have to catch your timing. The run into punch by itself is -6, so you do get a full combo punch, and she's point blank in your face. So most characters can punish that with a medium, and she have to find your timing, because this is not auto timed. Like Lucia have to manually time the shoulder to catch your bottom, right? So here she might trade. If she done correctly, she might get it right. So there is a little bit of a tricky mix here. But generally, this is pretty real. Like, this is a real 50-50. In my opinion, the risk versus reward is almost even here. Although, I will say, for Lucia, she gets punished if she tried to stop, and she gets punished if she committed to it. So, 2 out of the 3 options she will get punished for. So there is a little bit of risk reward here. You can't even armor through that if she done it correctly. Like here, Balrog will try to do an EX dash punch. This have armor, of course, but if done correctly, he will lose to it, of course, right? Let's try it again. Yeah, he will lose here. And like I was saying, because there is a manual timing thing, she have to find your timing, right? Of course, the final option, and that one is the one that is pretty much guaranteed, is that you can V-reversal this. If she ever does a heavy punch or a crouching heavy into run, you can always V-reversal out of this. In my opinion, you wanna challenge it at least first, or at least at the start. If you're fighting a Lucia who loves doing that stuff, at the start I would wait and see, like, are they committing to it, or are they always doing it and then stop? And if you notice that they are stopping a lot, this is when you start challenging with normals. But it is a pretty real mix-up. It's a pretty real 50-50 in all honesty. So, but it is important to know that you only have to worry about this from the heavies, and worst case scenario, you can just V-reversal and get it over with, right? If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. Please consider supporting me in Patreon if you like the channel. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and stay safe.